For today's lesson, we're going to take a look at transformations, functions, zeros, and intercepts. All right, so we're looking at two SOLs for today. SOL 8.6c, which is graphing linear equations into variables. That's where we get transformations from. And then SOL 8.7 ACE. The student will investigate and analyze linear and quadratic functions. So we're only looking at linear functions. And their characteristics both algebraically and graphically, including determining whether a relation is a function, zeros, and intercepts. So today's learning target, I can describe transformations, vertical translations, dilations, reflections of a parent function. I can describe changes in the slope or y-intercept of a parent function. I can graph the transformation. I can determine whether a relation is a function by looking at a set of ordered pairs, table, a mapping, or graph. I can identify the zeros of a function presented algebraically or graphically. I can identify the zeros or intercepts of a function represented algebraically or graphically. So for those two with zeros, we're just going to look at it graphically, not algebraically, for this lesson. All right, so the first thing we're going to take a look at is transformations. All right, linear transformations from equations. All right, so when we talk about vertical shifts is just focusing on your y-intercept. Y-intercept, okay, intercepts the y-axis. So you're moving the graph up and down the y-axis. So if we look here, if we start with 3x plus 10, we're shifting up 11 units. Therefore, it'll be 3x plus 21. And then looking at the next example, if we have a y-intercept of -1 and we're shifting down 8 units, we're moving our graph down 8 units, which will give us -9. Reflection, all right? So when we're talking about a reflection affects the slope, but not necessarily the y-intercept. So you can see in our examples here of the reflection, what is changing is the slope. So it changes the steepness of the slope. So if you increase or you are, and when you increase your slope, it makes it more steep. When you decrease your slope, it makes it less steep or flatter. Again, we'll see more examples of it, just going over reminders of what vertical shifts are, reflections, and the key things that we will be using. All right, so here will be an example. So here our orange line is going to be our parent function. So when we talk in terms of parent function, all right, so your parent function, since I did not make a note of that in the earlier slides, is always going to be y is equal to x, all right? The equation y is equal to x, which is going to be our blue line. All right, we can see that we have our y-intercept is 0, and we have the slope of 1. All right, so with the reflection, you are changing your slope from negative to positive. So here we can see the orange line is now the equation y equals -x, so it is a reflection. All right. All right, so now linear transformation, again, parent function, we always have y equals x. Here you can see it's noted as f of x. So we can see that as a function. All right, so we have what a vertical compression. So first, vertical shift. Again, vertical shift is going up and down the y-axis. Horizontal shift is going across the x-axis. All right, so when we talk about compression, so we have we have vertical compression, stretch, and we have horizontal compression or stretch. All right. So your vertical compression or stretch, bigger than one, you are getting a vertical stretch. If it is less than 1, then you are getting a vertical compression. All right. With a horizontal stretch or compression, bigger than 1, you are getting a compression. Less than 1, you are getting a stretch. So it's the difference between the horizontal and the vertical. And again, just going over these, you'll see examples as we do a few examples towards the end of the notes. Again, just wanted to remind you of what each of these were. All right, so in terms of stretches and compression, so again, our parent function is always y equals x, which in this case is the blue graph. All right, so looking at this first graph here, we can see we have our parent function of y equals x. We can see here that this orange line is going to be considered a stretch. So if we remember from the previous slide, which is at the top of your page, so this would be example of a vertical stretch because the slope is going to be greater than 1. So this is a stretch because the slope is greater than 1. All right. For the second graph, again, our blue line is our parent function. Here we'd have an example of a compression. And this is because the slope is between 0 and 1. So it's less steep. All right. So we can look here at this, at the first graph here. We're talking about the vertical stretch. We can see that this orange line is steeper. So we can see that it's steeper. And then over here at the second graph, we can see that our orange line is less steep. All right. So as we can see the difference between a stretch and a compression. A stretch is making it steeper. A compression is making it less steep. All right, so again, just giving you some more examples. Example 1 is showing how it's reflected. So again, making it negative. Example 2 is showing a shift and also reflection, vertical compression, reflection across the x-axis. Just giving you some different examples that we are going to see. And then the last piece that we're going to look at is a vertical translation. So here looking at the vertical translation, again, our parent function is always y equals x, which is going to be our blue line. All right, so vertical translation, that has to deal with the y-axis. So in a vertical translation, your y-intercept is what is moving. So we can see here that this is a shift up. And then in the second graph, we can see that it is a shift down. All right. And you can actually see with the arrows in the directions that you're not changing your slope. The only thing that's changing here in a vertical translation is your y-intercept. All right. So let's look at some examples. All right. So we're here, let f of x, remember f of x is the same as y. So I'm going to write that as a reminder. F of x is the same as y. All right. So we're going to start off with our parent function. So let me go ahead and change colors here. We'll make our parent function blue like it was before. All right, so remember our parent function is always y equals x. So we started the y-intercept, up 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And I'm going to try to make my line as straight as possible. All right, so now we're saying that it's twice as steep as the graph of f of x and shifted 3 units down from the graph of f of x. All right, so remember our parent function is always y equals x. All right, so if it's saying that our slope, so when we're talking about steepness, we're talking about our slope. Our slope is twice as steep, all right? So remember, again, we'll just write it like this because it says f of x is equal to x. So that is the same thing. Remember, f of x and y are the same thing. So here we see for our parent function that we have a slope of 1. So if our slope is twice as steep for our transformation, which is the function g of x, that means our slope, we're going to multiply our slope by 2. So what's 1 times 2? That gives us a slope of 2. All right. Then it said it shifted down 3 units. All right. So shifting, remember, vertical shift here. So shifted down 3 units, we're going to have a y-intercept of negative 3. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and graph our transformation. So we have a y-intercept of negative 3. All right, our slope is 2, so up 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. All right. So now let's just go back and double check ourselves. The graph is twice as steep as the graph of f of x, so our slope is twice the slope of our parent function, and then it is shifted down 3 units. All right, we're going to do the exact same thing here. All right, so we're going to start off with our parent function. So we're going to graph our parent function again. Oops, I think I was a little off there. Let's try that again. There we are. All right, gonna try to make my line as straight as possible. Getting a little better at this. All right, so again, we're starting off with our parent function of y equals x, or we can also say f of x is equal to x, because remember, f of x is the same thing as saying y. All right, so when we're talking about in terms of g of x, we have that the graph is 1/4 as steep as the graph of f of x and is shifted 1 unit up from the graph. All right, so 1/4 is steep, so we have a slope of 1/4 because again we're multiplying it 1/4 and 1, which gives us 1/4. And then it's shifted up 1 unit, so we're adding 1. So our y-intercept now is going to be 1. Our slope is 1/4, so up 1 over 4. We're going to go down 1 and over 4. And we're going to try our best to make this line as straight as possible. Oh, okay. All right, so we can definitely see that the steepness has changed. So 1/4 as steep as the graph of f of x. So we can definitely see that our graph is less steep, and we can also see that it is shifted up 1 unit. All right, let's take a look at example 3. So again, we have our f of x, or our parent function, excuse me, which is y equals x. We're going to go ahead and graph that really fast again. All right, now we see that it is a reflection of the graph of f of x, and it is shifted down from the graph, or excuse me, shifted down 1 unit from the graph. All right, so if we recall from a reflection makes your slope negative. So it basically does the opposite. So if your slope is already, well, your slope is not already going to be negative because we always start with the parent function. So your slope is going to be positive. So you're simply just going to make your slope negative. So if we look at the parent function, and again, we can write that as f of x is equal to x, because remember f of x and y are the same Here, starting with our parent function, since it is a reflection, we have y equals negative x. And then we're shifting it down 1 unit, so we have minus 1 as our slope, so negative 1 as our slope. So we're going to start with, as our y-intercept. Negative 1 is our y-intercept, not our slope. So starting with negative 1, using our slope of negative 1 over 1. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 1 because we want our line to decrease. Now we're going to do the opposite to finish out the graph. So this is very similar to the example that was given when we talked about a reflection at the beginning of your notes. All right, so we can definitely see we have a reflection because our slope is negative, and then we can see that we have shifted it down 1 unit. All right. And for this last example, I want to see if you can try this one on your own. Again, I know you can't graph on the Ed puzzle, but I do want you to tell me what the equation is going to be. So remember, we're starting with the parent function. And then here it says the graph of g of x is 3 times as steep as the graph of f of x and a reflection of the graph of f of x. So I want to see if you can try this one on your own. Again, the only thing you're typing in is the equation. All right. So let's start with your parent function, y equals x. Let's graph that. So we have up 1 over 1. All right. So again, as a reminder, f of x equals x is the same. All right, so it says it is 3 times as steep as the graph of f of x. All right, so we know we're multiplying our 1 times 3, but it's also a reflection. So remember, that makes our positive slope a negative slope. So starting with this 3 times as steep, which is 3x, and then we're making that reflection, so it's y equals negative 3x. So here we're starting at the origin because our y-intercept is 0, and we're going to go down 3 to the right 1, up 3 to the right 1, and we're going to connect our point. All right, so we can double check ourselves. It's 3 times as steep, but it's also a reflection, so we multiplied our slope of 1 times 3, which gave us a slope of 3, and because it is a reflection, it makes the slope negative. All right, now it is time to summarize what you've learned from today's lesson.